I hope your day is full of seaweed. I don't know. That was a weird intro already. Starting with seaweed? I'm redoing it. Should we leave this in? I hope your day is full of sand and barnacles and starfish and jellyfish and waves and salt. It's a sea episode. And fish. You gotta have fish and dolphins and whales and all of those things. Mermaids, tridents, I don't know. Guys, it's motherfucking Wednesday. Welcome back to another episode of Shenk. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and we have an amazing episode of Shenk for you this week with the one, the only comedian Greg Fitzsimmons. But before we get into this week's episode of Shenk with comedian Greg Fitzsimmons, there's just something I want to tell you about, and that's Oh Yeah Socks. Oh yeah. Look down at your feet right now. Are you wearing socks? If you're not wearing socks, ask yourself why, you dirty dog. Everybody needs socks. And these socks are fun. They come in so many different unique designs, whether you're into pizza or animals, there's a pair of socks for you. They also have really fun slippers. My favorite pair are the alligator slippers, and they make great gifts. Good Valentine's Day gift. Shop ohyeah.com. That's 3 O's HYEAH.com. Discount code SARA10, SARA10 for 10% off unique sock designs. And just a reminder, Kim Congdon and I are headlining at the Comedy Store in the main room. We're doing our This Bitch and Friends show. It's a fire lineup. It's me, Kim, Trevor Wallace, Lisa Traeger, Jetski Johnson, Damon Wayans Jr., Ryan Sickler. Get tickets now. It will sell out. And I'm coming to Texas. That's right. Yeehaw. I'll be in Texas January 22nd to January 27th. I believe I'm going to be headlining, so more info on that on my Instagram. I should be at Vulcan one night, and then I'll be at the Mothership the other nights. So make sure to subscribe to my Patreon, patreon.com/Sara Weinshenk for bonus content, and buy some merch. All right, guys, let's get into this week's episode of Shenk with the one, the only comedian Greg Fitzsimmons. Here it is, guys. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Shenk. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is the one, the only comedian Greg Fitzsimmons.
Is that whiskey?
No.
Oh.
Red Bull.
Oh.
That's probably worse for me than whiskey, honestly.
Why, does it upset your innards?
I mean, it's not. Look at the color.
Yeah.
It's not good for anyone's innards. It's almost glowing in the cup.
No, I've always wondered about the Red Bull and vodka combination because you're getting shit-faced, but then you can't pass out.
You're just alert.
Well, you should pass out at a certain point.
Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But it would be crazy if I was drinking whiskey right now.
Yeah.
Crazier than this, probably.
Right.
Do you drink?
I quit 34 years ago this week.
Cool. So you've been sober for 34 years?
Since I was 27 years old.
Damn.
Yeah.
When did you start drinking?
When I was like 12.
Really?
Drank hard at 12.
Really?
Yeah, well, my father was an alcoholic, and my friends' parents, I had the weirdest thing. I grew up in New York, and like for some reason, all of my friends' parents had either drinking or drug problems.
Where in New York?
Tarrytown, New York, Westchester County.
Okay.
About 20 minutes north of the city.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, if we found each other, like there was some kind of dynamic that we all felt, and like we saw each other and we could tell like, oh, you're a broken toy too, you know?
Right.
So we all could get booze from each other's houses, and our parents couldn't smell us coming home drunk because they were drunk. And so from age 12 on, I was just drunk all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Until you were 27?
26.
26? And then were you like, was your life unmanageable?
I used to get arrested a lot for fighting.
No.
Yeah. I spent 3 different weekends in jail for fighting.
You seem so nice.
I know.
You used to go to jail three weekends in a row?
Yeah. Not in a row.
Okay. You spaced it out. You got to space it out.
Yeah.
You weren't that wild.
Yeah. And then I did a lot of cocaine, and like the last night I drank, I tried to quit a bunch of times and I couldn't.
Right.
And then I finally did it, and people always ask me, how do you do it? Like, did you go to meetings? And like, I went to meetings a little bit, but for me, it was just like eventually I just realized, oh, it's just an on-off switch.
Right.
You just have to literally redefine yourself and go, I don't drink. I'm not a drinker.
Right.
And then every time somebody asks you to have a drink, you don't go like, oh, this is fucking Ari Shafir, and we used to drink together, so I should. It's just, no, I don't drink. It's just, that's it. It's black and white.
Right.
It's like cheating on my wife.
Right.
I cheat on my wife. So it just, the switch is on.
That got me. I wasn't expecting that turn there.
No, I think that's why she always trusted me not cheating, being on the, because it's hard. I'm on the road all the time. I have been our whole marriage. And I think she realized the discipline I've had with drinking is the same that I have with,
Yeah, you don't want to be hooking up with rogue puss on the road. It's scary, I think. I don't know. I hooked up with one dude in Austin, and then I became a vapor. I didn't want that to happen. That's
really?
worse than getting an STD.
Did you share the vape with him?
He shared his vape with me, and now I vape.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I would have rather had gonorrhea.
Yeah.
That's just a fucking quick antibiotics, and then you're back, baby.
It sounds like you had gonorrhea. Did you?
No.
Oh, I had it once.
You did?
Yeah.
I haven't had gonorrhea, no.
They call it gonorrhea because it's true. You get a shot and it's gonorrhea. It's so fast. I woke up. I had sex with this. I had sex with this girl in my mother's car, which is weird because she was driving.
No,
my mother wasn't there. And but we had sex in my mother's car. It was like a roadhouse bar.
Okay.
And she was talking to this guy. And I could see the guy was really kind of harassing her. So I walked up and I said, excuse me, do you mind if I talk to my girlfriend? And the guy was like, okay, walks away. And she just looks at me and she gives me a hug. Cut to like 40 minutes later.
We're fucking in the
we're
car.
fucking in the backseat of my mom's car.
No.
And about 24 hours later, I had a drip. There was a drip.
Not the drip.
The drip.
Just dripping out of your dick.
Yes, and urinating was like shards of glass were coming out.
No.
It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life.
But when you were fucking her, you didn't notice anything weird, like no weird sense.
She was on her period.
Oh, I don't know why it makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Getting chlamydia from a bleeding
gonorrhea.
woman. Oh, yeah.
Chlamydia would have been, great.
That's crazy.
So I go to
She was on her period and gave you gonorrhea?
Yes.
Yikes.
I don't know if the period, like, brings up all the diseases, brings them right to the surface.
Because it's just like everything's just pouring out.
It's flushing out your system.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I go to the hospital and I get it. And the doctor's like, oh, you got gonorrhea, and gave me a shot. And like 24 hours later,
You're fine.
I was fine. But this girl, Barbara Prego from Tarrytown, was a nurse.
Okay.
Not a nurse. She was in accounts. Like,
okay.
She did the paperwork, and she saw my file come through.
Okay.
She told everybody in town that I had gonorrhea.
No.
I couldn't get laid for a year.
No.
Yes. And I did not change her name to protect the innocent.
You could sue her. You could have sued her, right?
Yeah, but...
For defamation.
Yeah, I think at that point I just wanted to quiet the story down.
Yeah.
I don't want to drag it out through the courts.
Yeah. That would be crazy if you took her to court.
But I think I just did is sort of in the court of public opinion by doing your podcast and outing her.
Yeah. What's her name?
Barbara Prego. Prego.
Guys, find Barbara Prego.
Yeah.
Tell her what she did to Fitzsimmons was not right. And that he's clean now. He's clean and happily
clean
married.
As a whistle, baby. I don't even have sex with my wife has her period. I'm hands off.
Dude, having sex when you're on your period, overrated. It's like, let's just wait.
Yeah.
You know?
Have you?
Had sex on my period? Yeah, when I was more wild in my 20s. Now I'm like, let's just wait a few days.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Right.
I'm not laying down a towel.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that energy of like, I don't want it to look like a crime scene when we're done.
Right. Right.
I'm not also like a blood person. Like, I don't even like looking at my own period, let alone like, I don't want to like swimming in my blood on the floor.
Right.
Ugh.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
I don't know that much about tampons.
Yeah.
But the tampon is the stick that goes in, right? And the pad is the thing you put inside your underwear?
Yeah.
Which one do you use?
I use both.
At the same time?
No, not at the same time.
Oh.
It just depends. Like, If it's like the first couple days of my period, I'll use a tampon because it's like just handles things better.
Yeah.
And then when it's like almost done, I'll use a pad because
And is that-
tampons can kind of hurt.
Yeah.
You have to get them like I'm very specific about my tampons. I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
I get them unbleached because the bleach is like bad for you. There's all this shit.
Why would you need it bleached so you can see the blood better?
No, they just bleach them because they're white.
I could see bleaching them afterwards, but before?
Yeah. That is a really good point.
Yeah.
Why are they bleaching
Yeah,
them? Why
I
don't
mean-
they just make them red?
Right. There you go.
What the fuck?
Yeah, or blue, because blue looks really good with red.
Yeah, and then it's purple?
Yes.
Color theory? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They should start making like designs, like leopard print pads
Mm-hmm. I like
for all
that.
the wild ladies out there.
Yeah. Yeah, leopard skin women are wild.
Yeah.
It's almost like when a woman wears leopard skin, she's making a statement about the night.
Yeah. I wear leopard skin all the time. And
Do you?
There's something off with me, I'll tell you that.
No, I think it shows.
I love all the animal prints. I got a cow jacket, a snakeskin shirt at
Oh, no
home.
shit.
I got all of it.
Where do you
I like
get
my
that
flair.
stuff?
It just depends. I started doing this thing called Rent a Runway, which is where like you rent clothes every month because I kept buying all these clothes and then I wear it once
Yeah.
and then I never wear it again. I'm like, I wear that on that podcast. I wear that on that show. So now I rent, you spend like, it's like $100 a month and you get 5 pieces and they're like nice, like designer pieces. And then you switch them out.
So they mail them to you and you mail them back?
Yeah.
Do you have to pay for postage?
Well, no, it's included in the monthly fee.
Get out of
They
here.
come and they pick it up from your house.
Damn.
Yeah.
I want some of that. Do they do it for men?
I don't know if they do it for men. Do you know if they do it for men? If there's a clothing thing like that
You know
for
what
men?
we could do is before you mail it back,
Yeah.
you give it to me.
And then you can wear
I wear it.
a cow print jacket.
Yeah.
You start dressing like a pimp suddenly.
Yes, fur.
Furs.
But I think the leopard skin is like,
Something slutty about it. Let's be honest.
well, it's almost like oh, here you go.
Oh, is this a
Are
guy's
they
one?
a sponsor?
No, they're not.
Why do you make them a sponsor and then they'll get it for free?
Yeah, I should. I got to reach out to Rent the Runway.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Well, look, they have it for guys.
Oh, is that leopard skin on top?
What's it called? It's called Taylor.
Oh, burgundy. I like that.
Yeah.
Marine layer. I like marine layer.
Yeah, it's all good brands.
Yeah.
And then you know, because you need stuff for podcasts, and then you don't want to wear it again because it's like, oh, she's wearing the same sweater.
So you'll never wear this dress again.
This is mine. I own this. I'll wear this again.
This old thing.
This whole thing. I'm waiting for my new shipment to come. I had to pack up the old shipment. Now I'm waiting for the new shipment.
You should see if they can send tampons too.
Yeah. Purple tampons and leopard print pads. Let's talk more about the leopard print thing. What about like, it's giving like Peg Bundy energy.
Yes. Yeah.
She's the quintessential leopard print person. Like when I see her, she's like a wild woman,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And it's like you're, well, it's wild and you expect to see them with a guy who's wearing camo. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be a perfect match?
Yeah.
And they could play out a fantasy where he like hunts her through the house when they get home. It's like a courting ritual. I didn't see you. I didn't see you.
Role play with camo and leopard.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
I know. But there was also the Bob Dylan song, I See You Got Your Pillbox Leopard Skin Hat On.
Which song is that?
I think it's called Pillbox Leopard Skin Hat.
Wow, I don't
see
even.
you got your pillbox leopard skin hat. It's kind of making fun of like the hippies fashion in the 60s.
Yeah, Bob Dylan is the best.
Yeah.
I don't know what it'd be like to see him now. I've heard he just kind of mumbles.
I hear it can be hit or miss.
Yeah, I've heard it's kind of dark.
Yeah, but I mean,
But to see him would still be cool.
it would be amazing. And I've only seen him a couple times, but I got good shows both times. But I think he's, he doesn't want to do his songs twice the same way, so you're gonna get something interesting. I just saw. Did you ever see the film The Last Waltz about the band's final performance?
Oh my God, that's so weird. I just watched it with my dad.
No, really?
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
It's amazing.
It was
Martin
Joni
Scorsese.
Mitchell is in it, and she looks like a little angel. Oh, it was amazing. I just watched the whole thing.
Yeah. It was sick. And it's Martin Scorsese directed it.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And
that's why it looks so cool.
That's why it looks so cool. And then, but I thought Bob Dylan's performance was amazing on that. It was a Dylan song. I Shall Be Released was the final song. And Van Morrison. How fucking cool was Van Morrison?
I'm obsessed with Van Morrison.
Really?
Yeah. I grew up listening to a lot of Van Morrison. I think
What's your favorite album?
I don't know, but my favorite song is Sweet Thing.
Yeah, it's on Astral Weeks. That's my favorite album, Astral Weeks.
I don't know by albums because my dad had like the best of. And we used to just listen to that all the time when I was a kid.
Next time do you smoke pot?
Yeah.
Yeah, smoke a joint. Yes.
Okay.
Smoke a joint, put on some good headphones and listen to Astral Weeks and prepare to weep. It's the most gorgeous fucking album. And he played it at the Hollywood Bowl about 5 years ago.
I saw him at the Hollywood Bowl,
you
but
might
I
have
don't
seen
know
that album.
I don't know if it was that album. It was longer than 5 years ago.
Okay.
He's a funny performer too.
He's also known for
being finicky.
Yes, he's very finicky.
Yeah.
And he can turn in great shows. He's a blues man, so he can turn in a very moving, heartfelt show, but he can also be drunk.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Was he? Oh, wasn't a good show?
He was off the night I saw him. And we had good seats, too. Like, my friend's parents took us. We had box seats, and he was just, like, kind of all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it goes with the blues, right? Those guys are all...
alcoholics.
They're all alcoholics.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
What other live musicians have you seen that you like?
Well, I just flew to Nashville last month to see Jason Isbell. Do you know country music at all?
Yeah. What's the name of his like more popular song?
He did one called Southeast was the album. It was also an album themed show. Well, the Ryman Auditorium. I don't know if you know about that, but it's called The Church, and it's the most famous country. It used to be the Grand Ole Opry. Cool. And then they moved it to another location, but it's called The Church because it's literally in an old church and you sit in pews and the ceiling is wood and the acoustics, it's by far the best acoustics I've ever heard in a venue in my life. And so he came up and he played the whole album of Southeast and then the next night we went and saw Wheeler Walker Jr. Do you know him?
Yes.
Yeah. So we saw Wheeler, and his band is like as good as any country band out there.
Really?
Yeah.
I just saw Zach Bryan.
Oh, really?
He was amazing.
Wow.
I saw him in San Diego.
Yeah. He can shred, right?
He was so fucking good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I never used to be into country music.
I had like a really intense country phase in college because I went to school in Orange County college and everyone there was like Republican and like listening to country music. So I was like, I guess this is what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to just go to the tanning salon and listen to country to fit in. And I went to Stagecoach one year.
Oh my God. That must have been fun.
It was fun, but it just was like also when I went to the Zach Bryan concert, it was funny. Like I went with the guy I'm dating and he pointed out that all of the guys were like Swifties for Zach Bryan. Like, you know how the Taylor Swift fans are like over the top?
Shit.
They lose their shit. All the guys were like dressing like Zach Bryan. They were all in like denim and hats and like with a mustache. It looked like they were cosplaying Zach
hilarious.
Bryan. It was wild.
Were they singing to all the lyrics?
Yeah, they were singing to all the lyrics. They were trying to do like two-stepping or whatever, and they were not doing it right. But it was good people watching.
The best people watching was I took my daughter. This is funny because it's another theme concert of an album. As I took my daughter, she grew up surfing because we live in Venice, and
that's so cool.
Ever since she was in middle school, she goes to the beach at like 6 a.m. before school. And
really?
She surfs.
That's so cool. I love that. Do you surf?
No.
That's so cool.
But she loves the Beach Boys. And so there was, Pet Sounds.
That's like the album.
The album.
Yeah.
So Brian Wilson did a performance of Pet Sounds beginning to end. And so I took her down to Orange County, as a matter of fact. And And that was the best people watching at a concert I'd ever seen. We were playing a game where you get a point for spotting a guy in flip-flops, a point for a Hawaiian shirt, and a point for cheap sunglasses.
Everybody.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you have just one daughter?
My daughter is now 20 and my son is 23, and he's traveling around Central America for 5 months, just like fucking riding the rails, just like jumping on he calls them chicken buses because people have chickens on the bus.
And he just jumps on them and just cruises.
Cruise around him and his
Sounds
buddy.
Fun.
Yeah, he sends me videos and it's like, first of all, he goes to, he was in Guatemala and him and his buddy meet these two twins and they're from Mexico.
Okay.
And they're like 29 and my son's 23, but like his friend, like they each like have a little romance with the twin. And then the girls go
twin on twin.
They go. Well, when you come to Mexico, you got to come to our town, and you can stay with us. And so they're figuring, all right, there's probably some like hovel, some shitty like Adobe,
yeah.
And so they show up, and it turns out the girl's father is the mayor of this pretty huge town, and may or may not be involved with the cartels. And so they stay in this mansion, and they were there for Christmas Eve, which is actually the night they celebrate Christmas more in Mexico's Christmas Eve. And so they have this banquet. He showed me video, this huge room with a banquet table, and there's like 50 people. And then they had a DJ, and they had apparently the best tequila in Mexico. And then they danced till 7 o'clock in the morning.
That sounds fucking fun.
And the twins were like, stay. So they stayed like a week in this mansion. And then they left, and the twins were like, we're coming. So now they're traveling with the twins all around Mexico.
The twins.
The twins.
That's so
and
wild.
They're gorgeous. He sent me pictures of them. And so, and he's fluent in Spanish because both my kids went to a Spanish immersion school. So from kindergarten through high school, they took 2 classes a day in Spanish. So they're like, like crazy. And so, yeah, he's having a blast, and he's going to be there for 5 months. Longer if we can't come up with the ransom money. But for now, it's 5 months.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Do you like being a dad?
I do. I think it, like, became a role for me.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought I was going to have kids. And then, I think I always wanted to, but I didn't think it would be possible. And then once I did, I just fucking embraced it. I just did, like, I still love stand-up, but I changed my priorities once I had kids.
Yeah, which is good.
It is good because now that they're older, they've turned out well, and I really give my wife most of the credit, but like I feel proud that I was part of it.
Yeah, of course.
And now we've got this functioning adult relationship with them where, we play golf together and they love to go on vacation with us, and like there's none of that, oh, dad shit. It's just
that's awesome.
Everything's cool. Yeah.
Was there ever any of that?
Well,
when
of
they
course.
Were like teenagers?
You were a girl between the ages of 14 and 18.
I was a nightmare. Yeah. I was a fucking little bitch.
Really?
Yeah. I would not listen. They would tell me not to do things. I'd go and do them.
Yeah.
They said I had to be home at a certain time. I'd feel like okay, and then I would say I'm sleeping at my friend's house, and then
stay out all
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
In the Valley.
You did?
Yeah, I grew up in Encino. But
818.
818
for life.
818 for life.
So when you were that age, were you doing a lot of substances, drinking?
I was drinking and smoking weed, but mostly like drinking, and it would be like a couple Smirnoff Ices.
Yeah.
That like someone's mom got us. That always trips me out. Yeah. When the moms are getting the children drunk.
Yeah.
I don't like that energy. When you're getting your underage children drunk, it's like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it at our house so I know you're safe. No.
Yeah.
I'm not into that.
No, especially when the dad wants to then hang out with you while you're drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, can you go to bed?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, I think it's past your bedtime, sir.
And no, I don't need my feet rubbed anymore. So were you promiscuous at that age?
I had a boyfriend in high school, so not really, but I was wild more in college.
Oh, okay.
I went to college, and that's where I was like, whoa. And that's when I did more substances too.
And that was in Orange County?
Orange County, yeah. I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
I would drive to LA before I started stand-up. I started stand-up when I was like 24. So I would drive to LA like when I was like from 19 to 23. I had a fake ID. And I would go to different clubs.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, shit, Lindsay Lohan just walked in. Be cool, be cool.
Oh,
like,
nightclubs, not comedy clubs. Oh,
nightclubs.
Right.
So, and it's like on Wednesdays we go here. On Thursdays we go here.
And were you the girls that got picked to get in at the line
and I would come with all my friends. I'd know the door guy. I'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Rick. It's just the four of us. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my life.
What is that like when you're in a nightclub and you're attractive and you're young and it's loud? I mean, would guys really hit on you, or did you sort of just end up on the dance floor? Or how did
guys
work?
hit on you, and then like you don't really have to buy drinks because guys have tables. And like, you want to come to our table and have some of our bottle. And it's just like, it's so douchey.
Yeah.
It is so fucking douchey and so dark that people are paying a bunch of money to just have a table with alcohol that other people come to. Yeah. It's like thousands of dollars to do that at like a nightclub.
Yeah.
And it's just very empty. And like people are just trying to be seen. And I was into it for a while.
You were trying to be seen.
I was trying to be seen. I was like, well, this is what my friends are doing. I guess this is what we do. It was more fun than being in Orange County.
Why do you think you needed to be seen at that age?
Probably because I hadn't found stand-up yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was kind of lost. So it was just like a thing to do. That was more fun than being in Old Town Orange. So I was like, you guys are going to go to another dive bar? I'm good on that.
So you didn't have like a thing in college, like sports or...
I just wanted to get the fuck out of college.
Yeah.
I graduated early. I didn't even want to go to college, which I'm glad that I did. But my parents, I was like, I just want to audition for the real world. My parents were like, that's not happening.
Yeah.
You can audition for the real world after college. Yeah. And I was like, fuck you guys. You don't even know. I'm going to drive to Santa Barbara for the audition. I got it in the bag. Like, you guys are wrong.
Right.
And I always wanted to be an actress growing up in LA because all these kids, I used to see all these kids and they would like miss school and stuff for auditions. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to be on TV.
Any of the kids you went to school with ever turn into anything?
No.
I mean, besides you.
Like, no, not really. Even like the ones that were actors then. It was just, my parents were like, you're not missing school to go be on TV. That's not happening. Luckily, I had good parents who I didn't have like a crazy stage mom. Like one time I begged her to take me because my acting coach, I took an acting class and it was a big deal because my acting coach, this is how she branded herself too. She was the acting coach of the Olsen twins.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And I was like obsessed with the Olsen twins. Yeah. And then I was like, I have to take acting class at the same place that the Olsen twins take acting class at. And so the Olsens were filming a movie and everyone in our acting class got to come be extras. And I begged my mom. I was like, please, 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 because you need your mom there for like the 8-hour day that you're about to work. Right. You can't just go there without your parents. My mom had the worst experience. I had the time of my life. My mom was like, we're never doing that again. Yeah. She's like, I had to make small talk with all the other fucking crazy stage moms.
That's the problem with it.
And they're so crazy and over the top. And then it's like, I'm an extra having the time of my life. I'm like, I've made it.
Wow.
So, have you ever been an extra?
Yeah, I was an extra in Karate Kid like 4.
You were?
Yeah, we bowled. I was in college in Boston, and we just bowled all day. It was great.
Being an extra it was like I was babysitting and doing extra work for money when I first started stand-up.
What did that pay?
Extra work, nothing, because I wasn't SAG yet.
It's like $50.
It was like $80 for like a 10-hour day or something. I did like music video extra stuff too.
Wow.
That paid more.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was dark though.
Yeah.
It was like all the video bitches knew each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what's up, Charm? They all knew each other. Like one of their names was Charm.
Charm?
She was such a bitch too, and her name was Charm.
That's ironic.
She had like a scowl on her face and the biggest titties you've ever seen, and she was
real?
Like, no.
Oh,
like
nothing's real.
None of them. None of them were real.
Right.
And
Why
then
would they be?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah.
It was a Dr. Dre music video.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they spray painted me like orange so I look Latina.
Donald Trump is Latina?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's so funny. So you were an orange face.
I was like orange face and like so much makeup and like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a lot of weird jobs.
Well, the
along way.
extra jobs are good sometimes.
They're dark.
I did I wrote on Crashing, you know, that Pete Holmes show. And we did an
I
episode.
really liked Crashing.
John, what's that?
I liked Crashing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was good.
So John Mulaney was on an episode, and the final scene, he's on stage at Town Hall in New York, which is like a 1,200-seat theater. They fucking filled it with extras.
No.
So these people got to sit there and watch like basically between scenes, we would get up there. Like I went up and did 20 minutes at Town Hall just to fuck around.
That's so fun.
Yeah, Pete Holmes got up and did 20 minutes. Like we all did time. And so this audience just sitting there going like, this is the fucking greatest day of my life.
Yeah.
They're getting paid.
A free show.
And it was all
and
union,
you're getting
too.
paid. Wow.
Yeah.
No, I remember, I think like one of the last extra jobs I did, I was like, I can't do this anymore. There was just like people calling SAG, like there's smoke. Can I get a smoke bump? Like they're trying to get paid more. Oh, there's water. There's water. I need a water bump. It was like people putting like Cheetos in their bags for later. Like just like so desperate and dark.
Yeah.
So.
All right. You ever see that TV show Extras? Ricky
No.
Gervais? It's a British show that he made.
It's probably amazing.
It's one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, I'm going to watch it.
It's filled with celebrity cameos like Kate Winslet. Yes.
I did see it. I have seen it.
Yeah. Where she's talking about getting an Oscar and you have to play somebody in the Holocaust.
Yes. I've seen that one.
I mean, David Bowie and Ricky Gervais. They got to see that episode.
I have to see that episode. David Bowie, icon.
He comes in and it's like they're in a nightclub and Ricky Gervais is at this point, he's got a sitcom on the air. So now he's like starting to feel his oats and he comes into the nightclub and he's got his little posse. And so he walks over and there's a VIP room and they're trying to get in and like they're not letting him in. And then finally like he pays the guy off and they lets him in the VIP room and David Bowie's in there.
No.
And so he walks up to David Bowie, who's in the middle of a conversation with a black woman, of course. And he kind of cuts in. And so then David Bowie asks him, so what's your name? And what do you do? And Ricky Gervais is like, well, I've got a TV show right now. And blah, blah. He's kind of blowing his own. And so then David Bowie sits at the piano and he starts playing the songs and he goes, sad little fat man.
No.
And the song keeps building to where everybody in the club is singing the refrain of sad little fat man.
I have to watch it.
And the look on Ricky Gervais's face as he's being humiliated is fucking priceless.
Ricky Gervais is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He just won
I'll
the Golden Globe last night.
He did? I didn't watch the Golden Globes.
There's a new category, Best Live Stand-Up Album.
Really?
And he was up against Chris Rock and Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes, John Mulaney. And I mean, I'm sorry, but Ricky Gervais' stand-up is not on that level.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's great when he hosts the Golden Globes. I love his TV shows.
I thought Mulaney maybe was going to get it, right?
I mean, he had that very honest special about coming
rehab.
out of rehab.
Yeah.
And Chris Rock's special, are you shitting me? Where he's talking about Will
the
Smith.
slap?
Yeah, called him a bitch 14 times.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was awesome. He's a bitch. He's like Jay-Z called him a bitch.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that was warranted win, but, I guess
I didn't even know they did that.
It's the first year they did it.
Okay, that's cool.
Joe Coy hosted.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
I think it was hard for them to find a host because, and that's not knocking Joe Coy. He did actually a really good job, but he's obviously not like an A-list person.
Yeah.
I mean, they're used to getting like Jimmy Kimmel and so
Billy Crystal.
Bill, has he done Golden Globes?
No, just Oscars.
Yeah. It's a tough gig. You gotta write for months.
Seems like a lot.
You got to do a lot of press for it. And then the audience, especially for the Globes, everybody's drinking and like it's very spread out. It's all these, because the tables need to be big to fit everybody from the film, which, as you know, doing stand-up, you want 2 tops, 4 tops. That's it.
Right.
Because you don't want people spread out.
Right.
So, and then they're drinking and they're self-involved and everybody bombs. And Joe Coy played it very smart. He just played it like it was going great. And then you get a cutaway of the audience, and you just see people like checking their phones and fucking looking in their purse for their speech. But no, it's a pretty thankless job.
It seems like it would be.
Yeah.
And then ever since Will Smith got slapped.
Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
Oh, yeah. That's what I meant.
Right.
Ever since Chris Rock got slapped.
Yeah.
That changed some things.
Yes.
It was like, oh, you can just get assaulted while already doing a hard job.
Yeah. And then give the guy the award a half an hour later.
So fucking crazy.
That was crazy. Like, think of what job could you be at your workplace, slap a coworker, and then just go sit at your desk again, and then get an award at the end of the shift.
That's so Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have been made to leave after he assaulted the host.
He should have had charges pressed against him. That's assault.
That is assault. And then didn't they ask Chris Rock to host again and he said no?
Yes.
I would have said no too.
I would have said yes.
You would have?
I mean, what a premise.
To come back stronger than ever?
Well, to come on stage and bring 4 giant bodyguards that stand in a circle
That's amazing.
around you. Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah. And then I've got a joke about the Will Smith thing.
Like what Chris said?
Oh, no, I had a joke where I said, I'm pretty excited. I just got a new movie role. I'm going to play G.I. Jane. And then I forget that I had a whole run on it. But that was
funny.
weird. Yeah.
With the fingers crossed.
Yeah. I like any joke where I get to go like this on stage.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So have you always lived in LA? No, you lived in New York.
Yeah, I went to college in Boston. And that's where I started doing stand-up. And so then after I graduated, I stuck around for a few more years because the comedy scene was just out of control in Boston. And yeah, New England, you could go. It was like you didn't have to go on the road. You could work rooms. You could headline rooms 6 nights a week and sleep in your own bed. So you go to New Hampshire one night, you go to Rhode Island the next night.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then there was like 5 7-night-a-week rooms in the city.
That's amazing. I started here.
Oh, that's tough. That's
so tough.
Yeah.
I would have to like sign up for multiple open mics a night.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you wouldn't get pulled and then you waste like 2 hours. Other times I'd have to, I spent a lot of time driving to like San Diego because I could get longer sets there, like weird places like that.
Yeah.
Just like for more stage time.
No, I tell every young LA comic, go to
somewhere
Denver,
else.
Go to Seattle, go somewhere else where you can get stage time. And
I know. That's why Austin's great now too.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, but Austin actually doesn't have that many stages. I mean, I think there's more comics than stages at this point because
lots of comics.
You go to certain clubs and it's like it's kind of the same lineup every night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So they're great lineups. They're fucking all heavy hitters and they all kill, and that's why people keep coming back. But it doesn't leave a lot of room for a newer comic.
Right.
But Boston at the time was like you could learn how to open and then feature and then headline because there was so many rooms they needed comedians.
That's awesome.
So it was like I started out with Rogan and Burr and Patrice and Marin and David Cross.
They were all in Boston?
Dane Cook, Bobby Kelly.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was insane. The amount, Louis C.K.
Wow.
Sarah Silverman.
Also Boston?
Yep.
That's
Sara
so
was
crazy.
back and forth, but everybody else was full-time Boston.
That's so crazy.
I know. And that doesn't include the people you've never heard of that I consider to be some of the best comedians I've ever seen in my life that never left Boston. Don Gavin and Steve Sweeney and Mike McDonald. These guys were just like craftsmen because in Boston, you couldn't sound like somebody else because it was a closed community. They didn't bring in headliners from outside of Boston. It was kind of famous for that. We were just like a self-contained scene.
I love that.
So if you sounded like Mike McDonald, you didn't get work. You had to have your own voice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like an awesome way to develop and get better.
Yeah, it was. I think we were kind of inspired by each other, and everybody wrote a lot. And it was. And then I started to work my way down in New York, where I would do like Thursday through Saturday or Wednesday through Saturday in Boston to make the money, and then I'd go down to New York and I just couch surfed for like 3 years. I would go down and, I'd stay at my mom's house sometimes, but mostly I'd stay in the city and try to break in, just hang out at the comic strip on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night, hang out at the Cellar. And, eventually guys like Louis would get Eddie Brill. Those guys would get me spots, get me auditions. And then by then I was stronger because I've been doing so many spots in Boston, and it helped me break in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so now you're in LA.
Yeah.
And how long have you been in LA?
23 years.
Do you like it?
I live in Venice. I love Venice.
I love Venice too.
But I don't love LA.
Yeah. I like Venice a lot.
Yeah.
It's like I live kind of close to that. I'm in Topanga.
Is that close to Venice?
Kind of. I kind of think of it
I guess
as close.
so. Yeah.
You can just take PCH.
Topanga's amazing. I love it up there.
Topanga?
Yeah.
I moved there during the pandemic, and I'm just like obsessed.
Is it a funky hippie house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a funky hippie guest house.
You're in a guest house?
I'm in a guest house, yeah.
Who lives up front?
My landlords, they're professors.
At UCLA?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Well, it's the closest college.
I was like, damn, are you intuitive?
No, I've just, I really know maps. What do they teach?
Climate change and oceanography.
No shit.
Yeah, they're super smart.
So you have great conversations with them.
Yeah. Every time I talk to them, I'm like, damn, I'm dumb. Let me get back to the guest house.
Yeah.
Sing simple songs in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but they have they have really interesting facts. They're smart.
How's how much contact do you guys have with each other?
Not that much.
Yeah.
If I want to, we could, but for the most part, I'm just kind of by myself. Like, it's far enough away.
Do you park in their driveway and walk around their house to get in?
I have my own entry.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how big is the guest house?
The guest house is pretty small, but my backyard is what's up.
Oh.
My backyard is like a huge mountain view.
No way.
Yeah. And I moved there during the pandemic because I wanted to be outside all the time.
Yeah.
And I got a dog, so I hike all the time in the canyon. But now I'm like, I need more space. I'm ready for a bigger space.
Do you worry about your dog getting eaten by a coyote?
He's really big. And he's kind of like, he could be scary if he had to be.
So do you let him outside?
Yeah, I let him outside. Well, because I let him in the backyard because it's big and it's gated.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't let him. And sometimes I let him off leash on the trails too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of fun having a big dog and letting him off leash.
What a life.
Yeah.
You really did it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wish I had more storage space, though. I'll tell you that. I just went to the Container Store.
Oh.
Have you ever been there?
Oh, sure. I love the Container
Oh, my
Store.
God. I was
the
like,
greatest.
I was fucking geeking out in there. I was like, I didn't know they had these types of containers.
Yeah.
I blacked out. I spent $250 on all these containers. And now I'm like, I got to go back.
Yeah.
I need more containers.
Did you get the flat one with wheels that slides under your bed?
Yes.
That's the best
That
one in
is
the
the
store.
best one.
Yeah.
I got 2 of those.
It's free room.
It's
You never thought of that.
Yeah. No, I know. I was like, this is a sign of my age. I went in there. I'm like, this is like fucking amazing.
It's amazing. And they've got you got ones that you can put on the side of your house to put all your shit in. And then you got little tiny containers. It's everything.
I know.
Yeah.
I have a lot of sunglasses. I'm a sunglass person. So I bought all these little sunglass containers. I was like, I didn't even know they made that.
Okay.
Dude, that place is dangerous.
Yeah.
You walk in, you black out. You could spend $1,000 at the Container Store easily, but it's the best grand you've ever spent because your life is more organized.
Isn't it weird when you buy the container and then they put it in a bag to send you home?
Yeah. I just said, just put the other containers in the big container.
Yeah.
We're good.
Right. Do like a Russian doll.
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
I went with my neighbor to the Container Store on a Friday night, and I was like, this is the best night ever.
Are you Russian?
No. Do I look Russian?
Yeah, you look like a Russian immigrant.
I do?
Yeah. I mean, not like during the Second World War, just more like,
Really?
Yeah.
I've never gotten that that before. No, my mom is Puerto Rican and Irish, and my dad is like a German Jew.
German Jews. So there may be some Russian. Have you done the ancestry DNA
I
test?
haven't, because I'm a Jew. I'm afraid to do the fucking, in case they come after us.
You don't want to be on the grid.
I don't want to be on the grid.
Yeah, that's my friend Jacob Feldman has a joke. He's like, when you're a Jew, you're white until they start making lists.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I heard that they leaked all the data from one of those places too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did want a DNA test on my dog.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well, I made my ex-boyfriend get it for me.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to know what he is.
Is he Ashkenazi or Sephardic?
He was so many different things. I swabbed the inside of his mouth like a psychopath. That's what you do when you don't have kids.
Yeah.
You find out the DNA of your dog and go to the Container Store. That's my life.
Were you able to locate your dog's parents or anything?
Yeah, I was able to locate one of his cousins. And then I was like, I don't need to be in communication with my dog's cousin's parents.
What are you talking about? You're Puerto Rican. You guys are all about the cousins. Those cousins are like twins.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. There's like a hole for me in my Puerto Rican identity though, because my mom's dad was Puerto Rican. He was not around.
Oh.
So I don't really know much about my Puerto Rican heritage.
Did he move from Puerto Rico to New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
My mom grew up in Queens, in Astoria.
Queens. Astoria, that's the hot spot now. All the comics live in Astoria.
Really?
Oh, everybody.
All the comics live there now?
Yep.
When she lived there, it was like rough.
Uh-huh.
She lived like over an Irish pub.
Astoria has the most diversity of any area in the entire country.
Really?
There's more ethnicities, more ethnic restaurants. It's amazing.
The food is probably bomb.
Food's bomb. Great diners, like real New York diners. You can go to at 3 a.m.
So fun.
and get bad coffee and good eggs.
I love bad coffee and good eggs.
Yeah.
I prefer good coffee and good eggs. But I would take it for the experience, for the diner experience.
Right. Is there a diner you like in Los Angeles? Because I've had a hard time finding one.
Hold on. My spot used to be Cafe 101. And then when that closed, that was really hard for me. I like Swingers.
I like Swingers, but I feel like they're past their prime. I don't think they care as much as they used to.
They don't.
There was one in Santa Monica, and they closed that one down.
What was it, Froman's?
No, Swingers.
Oh, there was another Swingers.
There was a Swingers in Santa Monica, yeah.
I like Nate Now's.
Oh, yeah. Nate Now's
I
is
haven't
good.
been there in a while.
Right. And then, I like Froman's.
There's also, used to
But
be...
you can't go to Froman's at 3 a.m.
No,
All they have is Norms at 3 a.m. And
Norm's is fucking
awful.
Disgusting.
They've got a fucking lock on the diner market in L.A. How do you fuck up eggs? Yeah.
It's so bad. I like Mel's.
Yeah, Mel's isn't bad. It's so expensive now, though.
Yeah. I do like Mel's. I used to like Jerry's, but does Jerry's Deli even exist anymore?
I think so. On Ventura Boulevard?
It closed?
Really? Yeah, that was a good
I start getting emotional. Not Jerry's.
Yeah.
Not us losing. Are there any Jerry's Deli anymore in Los Angeles? That is dark. That was a staple. There's a really good Jewish deli in Encino called Uncle Bernie's.
Oh, yeah?
It's fucking bomb.
Oh.
If you like knishes, that's the spot.
Katz's has good, not Katz's, what's the one on Fairfax?
Cantor's?
Cantor's has good knishes and good matzo brie.
Matzo brie is good. There's also this really good one at a deli it's not open late though, and it's really expensive, but it's in Calabasas. It's called Levy's. That one's really nice.
Calabasas.
Calabasas.
That place has changed since you were a kid, huh?
Yeah. Completely
What
changed.
was it like when you were a kid, Calabasas?
It was just more like, I don't think the Commons was there. It was just people with horses that lived kind of far from everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Calabasas means pumpkin. It was pumpkin farms.
Yeah, it was completely different.
And now it's the Kardashians.
Now it's the Kardashians. And I go to the Commons sometimes and there's little teenagers that look like the Kardashians. It's
my God.
It's a little overwhelming.
The teenagers at the Commons are you would have to go to Coconut Grove in Miami or where else is it snooty? There is nothing like the entitlement of these teenagers. They are
It's bad.
driving like Maseratis.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, this is a bad way to start.
Yes.
Like, because if you start with a Maserati, what happens if you can't afford a Maserati later?
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to start with a fucking Honda. That's what I think. My first car didn't have automatic windows.
No shit. What kind of car was it?
It was a Honda, but it was like a 2003 Honda.
Wow.
But my dad, because I failed geometry, and my dad told me if I got an A in geometry summer school, I could get a car. And he didn't think I was going to get an A.
Uh-huh.
So then I got an A. And he bought me a new Honda, but it had like the wine. I forgot
Which people still do. Like in comedy, people still go like, so I roll down my window.
Yeah.
It's like, when? In 1980?
Yeah, it was like a 2000 something car, and it had rolled. It had that.
Yeah.
It was funny.
And you got to lean over for the side window.
Yeah, it's like so humbling.
Right. I still drive. I've never been a car guy.
Me either.
I drive a Prius.
Me too.
Do you really?
I love my Prius.
I love my Prius.
It gets the best gas mileage.
I just drove last night down to San Diego to do a show, and I came home, and it was about a quarter of a tank of gas to go there and back.
That's crazy.
It was amazing, but it's like people are so identified in LA with what car they drive. It really is a big deal, like because you pull up to the valet. You know, you have a business meeting or an audition, or you come to one of the comedy clubs and you valet park, and then everybody sees what you're driving. And I just never fed into that. I kind of took a stand of like, I'm going to go so far in the other direction. I'm not even going to ever wash my Prius.
Yeah, I need to wash mine too.
Yeah.
What year Prius do you have?
2011, I think.
Okay, cool.
What's yours?
I just got a new one 2019 because I had the catalytic converter stolen off.
Mine was stolen too.
That was embarrassing.
Oh, so you had a Prius before?
Yeah, I'm a Prius bitch.
Oh, nice.
After I got it once, I was like, I really like them.
Yep.
It's just kind of easy, middle of the road. And because I rented a Tesla when I was in Hawaii. Kim and I tried to rent a Tesla, and I was like, dude, that's a nightmare, having to charge the car.
The worst nightmare, because the stations aren't there yet. And then
the stations are not there.
No. And you spend half your time wondering if you're going to
make it.
It's like being a heroin addict, wondering if you're going to get your next fix.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. I'm like, are we going to be able to charge the battery?
What if we can't charge the battery, man? Yeah. I'm not going to be able to live anymore.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Constantly. And like the island that we went to in Hawaii specifically didn't have any of the level 3 chargers.
Uh-huh.
They only had the level 1 chargers.
Those are slow ones?
Slow ones. So we'd like charge the car for like 4 hours and it'd go up 10%.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm like, I guess we're just waiting for the car to charge on vacation.
That's like getting a bag of heroin. You ever do this? You get a bag of heroin, it's like totally diluted. They've been stepped on so many times, you can barely get a nod
Yeah, that's
going.
the worst.
It's like you start to nod and you're like, I don't know, my head's not even going down. This is lame. What's the hardest drug you ever did?
Ecstasy?
Okay.
That's hard.
It's hard.
I'm trying to think. I've done acid.
That's hard.
Is that harder than ecstasy, would you say?
I don't think of ecstasy as a hard drug. I think acid is.
Yeah, I'm done with acid, sweetie.
How many times you do it?
Enough.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Like maybe 10.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a roll of the dice I never wanted to take.
You've never done it?
I've seen people not come back from it. I used to do mescaline a lot, which is sort of a diluted kind of an acid. I used to sell mescaline.
You did?
Yeah.
What a plot twist.
I know.
You don't look like a mescaline.
I know. I don't look like a guy who got into bar fights either.
Was it all comedy, like on like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? That's what they always made it seem like. He was always like going.
What, when you're a drug dealer?
That was like the only like description I've ever heard about mescaline. It's like you're going through cobwebs.
Oh.
Played it. He's always going like this.
Yeah, no, it's a colorful drug and it's a laughing drug. And so I remember the first time I took it, it was my 16th birthday, and all my friends had already been taking it for like a year or two. And I was like, no, I'm not taking any hard drugs until I'm 16. So my 16th birthday, we get invited over to, I had a friend named Lachlan, And
Okay.
and his brother's name was Hamish.
Okay.
And the sister's name was Lala.
Oh, of course they have the mescaline.
No. I had the mescaline, but they had the house.
They had the house.
They invite us over to their house, and
their names are insane, by the way.
Insane names. And of course, like your kids, so you're always laughing at them and whatever.
Yeah.
So we get to his house, and his house, not making this up, Tiny Tim. Do you remember Tiny Tim?
Yes.
Tiptoe through
That's the scariest.
Yeah.
That shit scares me.
Yeah.
Tiny Tim freaks me out.
Tiny Tim was the most famous guy for having done nothing.
Just singing that.
He was huge, and he built this castle that was a block from my house.
No.
A Gothic, with spires and tunnels. And so it was always there, and it had a stone wall around it so you couldn't get too close, but you could see it. And we drive past it every day. All I wanted to do was go to Tiny Tim's house. So Tiny Tim moves, and Locklish, Heyman, and Lala move in.
To Tiny Tim's house.
To Tiny Tim's house.
And that's where you do the mescaline?
Well, Locke would never invite us over, and it was killing us. And so on my 16th birthday, he goes, my parents are going away. You guys want to come over? And we're like, yes. So me and a girl named Eileen took mescaline.
Okay.
And we walk into the house, and we're like, okay, this is going to be we're going to play Clue. We're going to play tag. We're going to fucking run. It's going to be like The Shining, running down hallways
it sounds cool.
on little tricycles. And so we go in, and Lachlan takes us down to the basement, down a hallway, and into a room that's about this big for about 15 teenagers. And we sit and watch a tube TV. We're just watching MTV and a tube TV. And I'm going what about the rest of the house? And he won't let us in the rest of the house. We're sitting in this little fucking room. So then this dog walks in, and I go, Lachlan, what's your dog's name? And he goes, Fred. And that was it. We laughed. The fact that Lachlan, Hamish, and Lala had a dog named Fred hit us so hard that he threw everybody out of the house. Because me and Eileen, we were crying and bent over in the fetal position.
That's amazing.
So with mescaline, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
The first time I did acid, I remember I was 25. It was on my 25th birthday. And I had eaten a Happy Meal, which is weird, unlike me. And then I had it comes with those toys.
Sure.
There was a little plastic toy, and all of a sudden I just start bawling, and everyone's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, this is so bad for the environment. And I'm not an environmentalist like that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I'm just beyond upset about the plastic that McDonald's is putting into the environment. Yeah. And that's how I knew I was fucked up.
Right. Meanwhile, you're eating
the
factory-raised beef.
Dude, it's so bad.
Yeah. I just went to Starbucks on the way over here. Shout out Starbucks.
Yes.
And I go, can I get some cream? Which, first of all, what the fuck is with the getting rid of the fixin' stations? It happened during the pandemic, and then they just said, we're not going back.
There's a lot of things like that.
And it's all right, so I go, can I get some cream? And the lady and she looks at me like I just asked her if I can clean the machines. And she goes, she's like, yeah, I'll give it to you on the side. And I was like, okay. So she takes a cup this big, fills it this high with milk, and then puts a top on it. I'm like, what the fuck? I go, this is such a waste. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I go, where's the fucking containers?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I think it's a cop-out. I mean, you've got therapy.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to somebody on my laptop about my fucking abusive father.
No, I know.
I want to be in the room with you.
My therapist, for a while, I was really loving the FaceTime because I'd be like, yeah, so that's it. Everything's good. He's like, no, you need to come in.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit.
Right.
And then I was like, I do get way more out of the experience when I go in there.
What are the issues that you deal with in therapy?
Well, for me, I was heavily addicted to Adderall, and it ruined my life really badly.
How much did you take?
I took the height of it, 60 milligrams.
Damn.
A lot.
Would you spread it out over the course of the day, or you take 60 in the morning?
I'd take 60, and then I'd take more maybe later. I was just
every day?
Every day, yeah.
Did you get a lot of shit done?
Yeah, well, I was also a personal assistant. When I first started stand-up, I was a personal assistant during the day.
For a celebrity?
No, for just this housewife. It was rough. I had to take Adderall to clock in those Excel sheets, sweetie. She was like, I was the personal assistant, but then she was like, by the way, you're also the babysitter / tutor.
How many kids?
3 boys.
No!
Yeah.
Oh,
and I would do that.
You were on Adderall.
I was like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
No. So I started going to him after I got off of Adderall. I have been off of it for like 5 years.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it was hard for me to get off of it.
But do you talk about what would have made you dependent on?
Yeah, we talk about that. We talk about a lot of like childhood stuff that comes up, just like relationship with parents, stuff that I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize that I do that. A lot for me, for a really long time, my issue was with men.
Yeah.
Like I would like be trying to change them, and this person would not be they would be emotionally unavailable, and I'd be like, nah, something's gonna change.
Yeah.
Something's gonna change. I can feel it. And then like 2 or 3 years would go by, and it's like, okay, that's not real. That person's not changing, and they've told you who they are.
And do you feel like that relates to your relationship with your father?
Yeah.
He was emotionally unavailable.
He was just really busy a lot.
What do you do?
He's a lawyer.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So
he was on Ritalin too. What kind of lawyer?
Real estate and construction and business litigation.
So he dealt with mobsters.
Yeah. Steve.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk about that. Talk about all kinds of stuff.
Damn.
Really got in there.
Well, I mean, look, it's like everybody goes to therapy and some people really use it and some people just do it as like I got to check this off my list and go to therapy because that's what people do. But like it can be something that
changes your life.
It can profoundly change your life.
Yeah. Since I've been going to this specific therapist for like 5 years, my life has completely changed for the better.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And there's times where like he'll tell me something and I'll be pissed.
Uh-huh.
Because it's like, it's hitting a little too hard.
That's a good therapist.
He called me an old baby. He said, you don't want to be an old baby. And that just fuck with me. I was like, I don't want to be an old baby. I've been like walking around and being like, old baby?
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Dude, that should be the name of your podcast.
Special. That's going to be the name of my special.
That's
old
a
baby.
Great title.
He told me
Old
that
baby.
and I was like,
oh, fuck.
dude.
That's perfect.
And I got pissed at first.
Yeah.
And then I was like, he's on to something. Because it really stayed
You
with
should
me.
have just started crying.
I was like,
That would have been hilarious. Just put your thumb in your mouth. Like, fuck you.
he was like, no one wants to be an old baby. And he's like, make sure you don't end up an old baby. And I was like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because
So do you know what technique are you using, like cognitive behavioral therapy?
It's cognitive behavioral
that's the
therapy.
Shit.
Yeah.
It used to be you sat on a couch and dwelled on your childhood. And now it's like, no, just don't have that thought. Just replace that thought.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah. He also like when I first started working with him, there's a book that he recommended. I don't remember what it is, but it talks about like all the different cognitive distortions that we.
Oh yeah, is it? It's a yellow book.
Yes.
Yeah, big fucking book.
Yes.
It actually pissed me off because I read it too, and it was like it's like 700 pages.
Yeah.
And it's for people that I have fucking ADHD. It's like I can't finish a tweet.
No, I know. It's a lot.
Feeling good or feeling
Yeah,
feeling good. It's called.
yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, but there's one specific page in that book where they talk about the different cognitive distortions.
Yes.
So it's like, and he was like, when you have a thought, and it's because he's like, the way that you think is in distortions, like all or nothing thinking, black or
nothing,
white.
black
Like
or
I don't
white.
remember all of it,
Right.
but yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit, that is how I think.
But you're supposed to do the worksheets in the book.
I did the worksheets.
You did.
And you write down different things. He made me do it for like 30 days. And that creates proteins in your brain that helps you
New
change.
neural pathways.
New neural pathways, yeah.
No, it's incredible, but it does take the work and the discipline. And it's like so many people, they go to therapy, they spend all that fucking money, they drive across town, and then they think that 1 hour of the week is the only time you work on yourself. But what's great about this book and CBT is that it teaches you to integrate it into your life and like catching yourself in moments where you're letting yourself go into all or nothing thinking, and then you just go like, okay, and you don't fight it. You just notice it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of takes the wind out of it.
Yeah. Exactly. Because before I started going to this therapist, I'd be like, I'll just like go to Joshua Tree, take some acid, figure it out.
Yeah.
And that only works for so long.
All right.
You know what I mean? You need actual tools.
Yeah. By the way, guess what I did last week?
You went to Joshua Tree?
Yeah.
Me too.
You did?
I was there for New Year's.
No shit.
Were you?
Not for New Year's. We were there the 26th through the 29th.
Cool. Did you go with your wife?
My wife, her brother, his wife, their 2 kids, the one kid's girlfriend, the mother,
Was it
my
fun?
daughter. It was so
That's the best.
amazing. I had never been there before.
What?
Never been to Joshua Tree. And so
It's the best.
it's the best. We took the hike through the park. And,
Oh, it's so cool looking.
Those rocks are incredible.
It's so beautiful. And the
Yeah.
stars at night are so like bright. And did you guys have fire pit?
We had 2 fire pits.
Did you make...
We had a ping pong table,
Oh,
a
hell
pool
yeah.
table, a bocce court,
Whoa.
a cornhole. A cornhole, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I hate the name.
It's
but
a horrible name.
it sounds like asshole.
Yes.
It's just like, I know what you mean though, the bag game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was a gigantic hot tub. There was a karaoke machine. And so we just fucking we'd hike during the day and then make
So
big
fun.
meals, stay up all night.
That's
and,
what we did too.
and the best is my mother-in-law, who's like 85, and she's this really tough Bronx chick. As a matter of fact, my mother and my wife's mother went to high school together in the Bronx.
Whoa.
Isn't that fucking crazy? St.
But-
Benedict's.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And so,
Did you grow up Catholic?
yes.
I went
very
to Catholic school
Oh, you did?
in the Valley.
I'm sure that comes up in therapy. Fucking shame. And so, but the beautiful thing was like she's just had a hard life. She was a mental health nurse in the city hospitals and
Oh fuck.
single mom, raised my wife on her own in Manhattan, and then kind of retired and just stayed stressed. She never evolved into like the retired state of mind.
Right.
And so she comes out to the house, and my daughter and my daughter-in-law, not daughter-in-law, my nephew's girlfriend, are singing karaoke, and they start singing Whitney Houston, and they give the mic to my mother-in-law, and she's sitting on the couch, and she's like kind of an old lady, and she takes the mic, and she starts singing, I want to feel the heat of your body. And she's singing, I will always love you in the most shrill, but she's got this joy on her face I have not
love that.
seen since our wedding day. I saw it on our wedding day, and I had not seen it since.
That's so nice.
It's beautiful. And so we got to buy our karaoke machine.
I just bought a karaoke machine
You did?
and it was pretty cheap.
Yeah. Because does it come with the lyrics, or you just use your phone
You
for the
just
lyrics?
it comes with like a speaker and 2 mics,
Right,
and
right.
then you can pull it up on your TV,
Uh-huh.
on YouTube. You could just go, whatever. That's what we did in Joshua Tree, and it was so much fun that I was like, I ordered one for myself. I ordered one for my boyfriend. I was like, everyone's getting a karaoke machine.
Yeah. It's just joy. I mean, singing is like one of the most, basic primal joys.
See, for me, I've been so blocked with singing because
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like my voice. Do you have a good voice?
I have a horrible voice.
And now I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
This is my voice.
Yeah.
I just want to have fun with it.
Sure.
But for so long, I was like, no, I can't do karaoke.
Yeah. Look at Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
It's a
that's what I'm
horrible
saying.
voice.
I'm always like, maybe I just haven't found my thing yet.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you have to sing a little bit. That helps me.
Really?
Yeah.
What are your favorite? What's your go-to karaoke song?
I like to sing I've Got You, Babe, with another guy.
I sang
always
that
fun.
one.
Yeah.
I sang that one last week. I Got You, Babe.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
That's a good one.
And then I do this with my hair. It's like Sherry used to do that.
Oh, that's good.
Special touch.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our podcast.
That's it.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it. Thank you so much for coming on. This comes out on Wednesday. Do you have anything you want to promote? Or
Sure. I'll be at the Den Theater in Chicago Saturday night.
Okay, cool.
And then I'm going to be in Atlanta the weekend after that. And then, I don't know, fitzdog.com if you want to see my tour dates and buy
Oh, yeah.
tickets.
Buy tickets. He's super
And then my
funny.
podcast is Fitzdog Radio. And then I have another one with Mike Gibbons called Sunday Papers, where we do the news every week.
That's cool.
It comes out on Sundays.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Go check it out, guys. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Shenk. You can find me at Princess Shenk on Instagram, Twitter. Also, January 14th, Kim Congdon and I are doing This Bitch and Friends in the main room of the Comedy Store. It's a stacked lineup. It's me, Kim, Jetski Johnson, Trevor Wallace, Ryan Sickler, Lisa Traeger. It's and Damon Wayans Jr. So buy tickets to that. It's going to be super
Go
fun.
to oldbaby.com for
Go
tickets.
to Old Baby. Oldbaby.com. And subscribe to the Patreon, and we'll see you next week. Bye.